Recently, a very interesting news article popped up in my news feed. It said that the Cambridge University Library has reported that two of the books written by Charles Darwin himself have been reported missing or either stolen. These books were worth millions of pounds because one of these books had his famous Tree of Life sketch, which was actually the basis of all of his evolutionary work. These books are officially lost in time. In today's time, in the plethora of digitization, we actually have many ways to store our works, be it in a digital form or even in a hardcover form. We have many ways to store it. But in those times, the only way to pass information was hardcover copies and particular copies of books. During wars, during fights, these books were actually burned down so that knowledge could not be passed to future generations. Especially during Roman wars and Greek wars, it was a custom to burn down libraries so that information cannot be passed down. And in this process, we lost many of important literature works. In this video, we are going to talk about all of these works. This particular topic really intrigued me, and I did some digging and some research, and I found out some very interesting facts. I found out about some books which are officially lost in time and which we can never ever read. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. The most interesting point here is that these books have been cited as being the author's most revolutionary work. So let's just deep dive into this topic and let's understand which books we can't read right now. So if you're already excited, hit the like button right now and make sure you watch the video till the end. You may never know which thought or fact may resonate with you and change the course of your life. So let's get started. William Shakespeare, considered one of literature's most finest writers and the most important literary figures to ever walk on this earth, was known for many of his novels, tragedies and comedies. He was also known for his plays and his extravagant display of human emotions. But there's one important novel which is actually lost. One important novel which was written by Shakespeare himself, which we can never ever find out about. The novel was named Cardinal. Cardinal has been called the holy grail of Shakespeare enthusiasts. There is evidence that Shakespeare's company, the King's Men, performed the play for King James in May 1613, and that Shakespeare and John Fletcher, his collaborator for Henry VIII and two noble kingsmen, wrote it. But now the play is nowhere to be found. Many researchers and archaeologists have tried to find out the basis of this play. They have tried to find out the novel, the work on which this play was based. But this literature novel is nowhere to be found. This play was also referenced in one of the most famous books named Don Quixote, in which one of the characters refers this book named Cardinal. And it is heartbreaking to know that Shakespeare considered this as one of his best plays. So this is one story which we would never ever read. We all love Jane Austen's novels, and especially we all are a fan of her novel Pride and Prejudice. But when Jane Austen died at the age of 42, she left behind 11 chapters of an unfinished novel named Sanditon. This novel would have tantalized posterity, was reported in Time magazine in 1975. In this, the protagonist Charlotte Haywood visits the seaside town of Sanditon as it is being built into a resort. Austen has actually set the scene, developed the characters, developed the theme, but has left the novel midway. Many novelists, most notably Australian novelists, have tried to complete this novel in Jane Austen style. But like it said, original always remains original. So this particular novel is lost in the sands of time and we can never ever read this novel. Next on our list is Ernest Hemingway's World War I novel. It is said that he wrote this book taking into accordance his own World War I experiences. So what happened was, the first of Ernest Hemingway's wives was supposed to travel from Paris to Switzerland. She had this copy of her husband's novel. She packed this novel in her suitcase. She traveled from Paris to Switzerland in a train. And when she met her husband, she found out that this suitcase and the priceless novel inside it was stolen. It was later, after many years, Hemingway legit said this to the press, that if he can opt for a surgery to remove this particular memory of his novel, he would definitely do it. This novel was very close to him and it was one of his best works as quoted by himself. The next book on our list was also written by one of the greatest minds in history, particularly in Greek history. It was written by Archimedes and the book was named On Sphere Making. So the Greeks were known to have a very flamboyant technique of culture building, of architecture and paintings and art in general. All the Greek philosophies were studied by Archimedes and he had written all of this in his book. This book basically solved all the riddles which were related to Greek inventions in particular. But this book was also lost. When the Romans invaded Greece and set fire to the immense library of Alexandria, copies of this book, along with many other great ones we don't even know exist, were burned to ashes. And yet again, we lost an important part of history. Talking about lost works and not mentioning Nikola Tesla would be sinful. Nikola Tesla, the Serbian-American inventor, was known for his electric inventions, which were way ahead of its time. He had truckloads of inventions. He had documented all of them and had kept all of his books in the basement of his apartment. Suddenly, on one fine day, a suspicious fire broke down in his apartment, on the basement of his apartment, and all the books were burned down. All of his major life works, his diagrams, his inventions, his stories, everything was burned down. Now people argue that this was either done by Thomas Edison because they both had a rivalry, which is also shown in the movie Prestige, by the way. I recently rewatched the movie Prestige, and I dig deeper into the rivalry between Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla. I found out that Tesla had many more inventions to his name but never got credit for it. So after that fire, it is reported that half of Nikola Tesla's work was lost in time. This is very sad if you consider in retrospect, because Nikola Tesla always used to say that he's never recognized as an inventor. We hope that this never happens again, and the knowledge which is created right now in our era is always passed down to other generations. Whether it's controversial or not controversial, it doesn't matter. Knowledge is knowledge. So yeah, that was all about the list. So I really hope you like this short video. I really found this topic interesting, and I thought I should make a video on this topic to let you guys know about the lost books which we cannot read. There are many books in history because it was a custom those days to burn down libraries and burn down manuscripts. So if you like the video, press the thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below how did you like the video. So thank you so much for watching this video up till here. I really appreciate all your support, and thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.